The movie starts with a family of 4, Dino, his wife Pernille, their little daughter Maj, and teenage son Gustav, living in a picture-perfect suburban neighborhood where neighbors have picnics almost every day and are annoyingly polite to each other. The usual routine comes to a halt when Gustav notices a cute girl named Sonia moving into the house across the street. Lately, things haven't been great in Gustav's family. Pernille's more focused on their daughter, giving her husband less attention, while Dino spends most of his time with buddies, barely helping out at home. Meanwhile, their neighbors Anna and Casper love to flaunt their perfect relationship, which sometimes makes Dino and Pernille a bit uneasy. One day, an elderly neighbor crashes a party, shocking everyone with a story about her husband dying in his armchair in front of the TV. She says he was already turning blue, but when Dino checks her house, there's no one there. People start thinking she's lost it, but no one can explain where her husband went. That night, while spying on the new neighbor, Gustav spots an ambulance and recalls how, earlier that day, several people were mysteriously feeling unwell. The next day, Gustav finally musters the courage to introduce himself to Sonia. He offers to show her around town, and they end up wandering into the woods, where they find a mangled animal. At that moment, weird stuff starts happening around the neighborhood. Police cars are everywhere, but they seem to ignore incidents going down right under their noses. Soon it becomes clear that an unknown virus has been found in the area, so the government seals off the town and urges everyone to stay indoors. At first, people try to brush it off, but victims start piling up. For example, the old lady's missing husband suddenly returns, attacks her, and kills her. Over the next few days, things only get worse. A deadly virus that reanimates its hosts, turning them into hostile killing machines, slowly creeps into the homes of anyone ignoring safety measures. Then the military shows up, threatening to shoot anyone who leaves their house, and those who dare try to escape are killed on the spot. Soon the town is put under quarantine, and soldiers start going door to door, checking residents for the virus. Then homes get completely sealed off, but luckily, people are supplied with food almost daily. Still, the power cuts out sometimes, driving some folks crazy in the dark. For instance, Anna and Casper's perfect relationship falls apart before everyone's eyes. Anna's desperate to escape and leave the town, but her husband refuses to risk their lives and forces her to stay put. One night, Gustav sees some neighbors being dragged out, loaded into truck beds, and taken to a supposed safe place. A hospital turned into a military base. Hoping to figure out what's going on, Gustav sneaks out, checks that Sonia's okay, and heads to the hospital. There, he's horrified to discover the so-called safe place is actually packed with infected people, rounded up and slaughtered like cattle. In a panic, he frees some of the infected and slips away in the chaos. While the military shoots at the zombies, their numbers grow fast, forcing the soldiers to retreat and leaving the surviving residents to fend for themselves. In the middle of the chaos, Anna grabs a car and bolts, leaving Casper behind. On his way back, Gustav picks up Sonia and her mom, and they head to his house. Despite Pernille's protests, they're allowed to stay, as they claim Sonia's dad went nuts and started beating his wife. That night, the infected attack the house, but Casper shows up and scares them off, then reunites with his friends. Turns out, the infected react to light, so Gustav's peeping habit nearly gets them all killed. Later, Anna returns and says escaping is impossible. The military has blocked the roads and shoots anyone trying to leave town. She only survived by some miracle, pushing through a mob of infected. A bit later, Sonia decides to thank Gustav for his help.
Sex.
Then checks on her mom and realizes she's getting worse. Turns out the woman has a serious leg wound from her crazed husband's beating. In the morning, Madge tells her parents her pet rabbit ran off, which the adults probably already turned into dinner.
Damn!
Then Dino and Casper head out to scout and realize almost no one's left alive. They reach the highway and come across a massive wall where soldiers nearly kill them for getting too close. At that moment, Sonia wakes up in her mom's arms and, to her horror, realizes she's dead. Not suspecting the woman could turn into a monster, she and Gustav leave her body in the house and go off to thank each other again. But Pernille bursts in, saying, "Madge has run off." The mom and son go looking for Madge, while Dino and Casper hit a store, hoping to find food. Instead, they find a terrified woman who nervously says she and her husband were attacked by the infected. Soon, her husband shows up, no longer human, and attacks the guys going after Casper. When a horde of infected appears, Dino bolts from the store, leaving his friend to die. Then he threatens the woman with a gun, takes her supplies, and ignores her pleas about her 4 hungry kids at home. Madge, searching for her rabbit, runs into the old lady who, to her misfortune, found her husband. The infected neighbor attacks the girl and bites her neck. Hearing her screams, her parents rush over and try to help, but it's too late. The gunshots draw a horde, so the family has to retreat home fast, fending off the infected along the way. Back at the house, they run into an already infected Anna, who the father quickly deals with. The survivors scatter to different rooms, trying to escape the zombies now breaking in. Dino tells his wife they have to kill their daughter, but Pernille flat out refuses. She flees with the girl to the bedroom, hiding from both her husband and the horde of infected. Eventually, Dino gets into the room, but Pernille keeps shielding the wounded major. Suddenly, the girl turns aggressive and attacks her mom. Dino can't bring himself to kill his daughter, so he turns the rifle on himself, only to find it's out of ammo and he's killed by his infected daughter. Meanwhile, Gustav and Sonia try to survive in another room. Suddenly, Sonia's mom reanimates and attacks them. Working together, they manage to take her down, then climb out onto the roof. Using a flare to distract the zombies, they get to the ground, slip past, and hide in the woods. The pair runs as far as they can because the virus has already spread far beyond their neighborhood. And that's where What We Become ends. Something without Hollywood flash. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Decent, but not a masterpiece. And it leaves a weird aftertaste.